Hey, magandang buhay! So ako si Sir Ben at narito ako upang i-discuss ang mga solution sa isang problem na nakita ko sa tawag dito MMC 2019 MMC Division Finals for Grade 8 level. Tawag dito number 10 sa easy round. Ready ka na? Great. So ito yung question ha. So let me read the question. In an isosceles triangle, the length of each leg is 3 centimeters. So let me illustrate that one. So in an isosceles triangle, the length of each leg is 3 centimeters. Proceed. What is the length of the altitude to the hypotenuse of the triangle? Length of the altitude to the hypotenuse, that one, the blue broken line here. Okay? So since we are dealing with a right triangle, it's better to identify the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse for this one using the Pythagorean theorem will be, okay, you are correct. That will be 3 square root of 2 centimeters. So this broken line, this blue broken line, let us name it as h. Now, how are we going to identify the value of h here? So just like what I've said a while ago, I'm going to present 4 different solutions, 4 different concepts. First one, we're going to use a formula. So for us to identify the value of h, we're going to use this formula. Okay? So in an isosceles triangle, if we want to identify its height now will be equivalent to the square root of L squared minus C squared over 4. L here will be the legs, while C here will be the length of the base. In this case, our base here is the hypotenuse. So what we're going to do here is just to substitute the value of L and the value of C. The value of L here is 3, while the value of C is 3 square root of 2. Simplifying that one, this will be the square root of 9 minus 18 over 4. Then 18 over 4, let us simplify that one. 18 over 4 now can be rewritten as 9 over 2. So the square root of 9 minus 9 over 2, that is actually equivalent to the square root of 18 over 2 minus 9 over 2. 18 over 2 minus 9 over 2, that would be 9 over 2. So it will become the square root of 9 over 2. So simplifying that one, the square root of 9 over 2, that will be 3 over square root of 2. Rationalize that fraction, it will become 3 square root of 2 over 2. So the altitude or the length of the altitude to the hypotenuse of that given triangle is actually equivalent to 3 square root of 2 over 2 centimeters. In case you don't have an idea on how to rationalize a fraction, you can watch my video about that one. Okay? Let us proceed to the second example. So, or second solution, So in our second solution, what we're going to do here is we're going to apply the Pythagorean theorem. So what am I going to do here is to somehow rotate this triangle in this manner. Okay? So what we're going to do here is that we're going to name this segment from this point up to this point x. And then since we know that the hypotenuse is 3 square root of 2, from this point, the length of this segment from this point up to this point is actually 3 square root of 2 minus x. So what we're going to do here is to solve for the value of h. So now we have 2 small triangles. For the first triangle, the one on the left, let us solve for the value of h using the Pythagorean theorem. So we now have here x squared plus h squared is equal to 3 squared. The one on the right, let us also solve for the value of h. We will have the quantity of 3 square root of 2 minus x squared plus 3 squared, or plus h squared is equal to 3 squared. Let us focus here, the one on the left side. So x squared plus h squared is equal to 3 squared will become x squared plus h squared is equal to 9. So let us continue this one later. So let us proceed now on the equation on the right side. So squaring this binomial, this will become 18 minus 6x squared of 2 plus x squared. And then plus h squared is equal to 9. Let us proceed here. As you can see, observing these two equations, both of them have h squared plus h squared. So instead of identifying the value of h or identifying the value of h squared, what we're going to do here is to identify the value of x squared plus h squared. Later you will see why is that I only identified the value of h squared, x squared plus h squared, not the value of h squared or the value of h. So let me continue this one. So in this case, so again, my goal here is to identify the value of x squared plus h squared. So what am I going to do here? For us to eliminate these two terms, we're going to add negative 18 on both sides of the equation and positive 6x squared of 2 on both sides of the equation. In that case, we will have x squared plus h squared is equal to 9 minus 18 plus 6x squared of 2. Simplifying this one, this will be now negative 9. So x squared plus h squared is equal to negative 9 plus 6x squared of 2. Notice this one. Both of them, the one that I encircled in color red, both of them are equal to x squared plus h squared. So it's faster if we will just simply identify the value of x squared plus h squared compared to identifying the value of h squared or the value of h. So this is actually the fastest among those three. Okay? So what we're going to do here is to apply the transitive property of equality. If you can still remember that one, transitive property of equality states that if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, therefore A is equal to C. So we're going to apply that one. So in that case, 9 now is equal to negative 9 plus 6x squared of 2. Solving for the value of x. So what we're going to do here is to add positive 9 on both sides of the equation. Then, one by one, we divide both sides of the equation by 6. Then after that, divide both sides of the equation by square root of 2. So in this case, we're not going to rationalize that fraction. Why? Simply because our goal is not the value of x. Our goal is not to identify the value of x, but our goal here is to identify the value of h. In that case, we're going to solve for the value of h here using this triangle, the one on the left. So applying the Pythagorean theorem, x squared plus h squared is equal to 3 squared. So plug in the value of x in this equation. So this will be the quantity of 3 over square root of 2 squared plus h squared is equal to 3 squared. Now simplifying this one, this will be now 9 over 2 plus h squared is equal to 9. Next, to identify the value of h, we add negative 9 over 2 or 9 halves, negative 9 halves on both sides of the equation. So 9 minus 9 over 2, that will be the same as 18 over 2 minus 9 over 2, which is 9 over 2. So h squared now is equivalent to 9 over 2. So for us to identify the value of h, we get the square root of both sides of the equation. So h now will be equivalent to the square root of 9 over 2. Simplifying that one, that will be 3 over square root of 2. Rationalizing that one, and yes, you are correct. We will arrive at the same answer from our first solution. So h now will be equivalent to 3 square root of 2 over 2 centimeters. Third solution. Personally, the third solution is the easiest among these four solutions. Okay? So in this solution, we're going to apply the concept of area. So what we're going to do here is to let's have two triangles here, same triangle. So the first triangle, what I did here was just remove this blue broken line and this blue square here. And then the other triangle is that just going to rotate the triangle in this manner. Okay? So instead of that, area of a triangle is actually equivalent to base times height divided by 2. Take note of this one. These two triangles are congruent, meaning they have the same areas, meaning they have equal areas. How come, Sir Ben, you said that they are congruent triangles? I'm just simply using the same triangles. On the second triangle, I just simply rotate the given triangle. So there's no changes at all. Okay? Just the position of it. I did that. The triangle is the length, the size of the triangles is the same. Okay? So we're going to apply here the concept of area. Let us get the area of this triangle. Applying the area of the triangle, base times height divided by 2. Base is b, height is a. So in that case, area is equal to ab over 2. For this one, again, same. Area is equal to base times height over 2. Base is c, height is h. So in that case, a is equal to ch over 2. So again, just like what I said a while ago, the areas of these two triangles are just the same. So let us equate AB over 2 and CH over 2. So simplifying this one, we will have AB is equal to CH. Solving for H, divide both sides by C. So in that case, H now will be AB over C. So this is the formula when we are dealing with a right triangle. If we want to identify the altitude to the hypotenuse, we will just simply use this formula. Just like what I've said a while ago before presenting this third solution, for me, personally, this is the easiest. Okay? So let us identify the value of H. A here and B are actually the legs. So in that case, we will have 3 over 3 over. C is the hypotenuse. So 3 times 3 over 3 square root of 2. So that will be the value of H. We can cancel out 3 here. So H now will be equivalent to 3 over square root of 2. And yes, you guessed it right. We will rationalize that fraction. So 3 over square root of 2. And we will still arrive at the same answer from the first and second solution. So the height now, or the value of H now, will be equivalent to 3 square root of 2 over 2 centimeters. Down to our fourth and last solution. So in this case, in this solution, we are not going to apply the concept of rationalizing the denominator. But in this solution, what we're going to do here is to use the concept of trigonometry. To be specific, the trigonometric ratios. Okay? So let me rotate this triangle into this manner. Okay? So the measurements are still the same. Now, since this is an isosceles triangle, okay, we can say that this angle is 45 degrees and this angle is also 45 degrees, applying the isosceles triangle theorem. Okay? Ayan. Now, focus on this triangle only. Now, in this triangle, this h is actually the opposite side of 45 of this angle. So h now is actually the opposite, while 3 is the hypotenuse. So applying the trigonometric ratios, sine theta, theta is the angle measurement, sine theta is equivalent to opposite over hypotenuse. In this case, that will become sine 45 is equal to h over 3. Next, let us identify the value of sine 45. You may use a calculator, or actually, sine 45 or 45 degree angle is actually a special angle. So you can easily identify the value of sine 45. So sine 45 is actually equivalent to square root of 2 over 2. Solving for the value of h, we multiply both sides of the equation by 3. So therefore, h will be equivalent to 3 square root of 2 over 2, which is the same with the answers on the first 3 solutions. Therefore, the altitude to the hypotenuse of this given triangle is 3 square root of 2 over 2 centimeters. So as you can see here, we used 4 different solutions for different concepts, but still we arrive at the same answer. Just like in life, we can be successful in different ways. Remember that one. Okay? And with that, maraming salamat sa pakikinig and magandang buhay!